For this year, our main interest was focus on the empowerment of the female voice in Latin American cinema. What means is not focus on women and films. It focus on the positive way how the women are taking the power and how they're taking the power through their own voice and how they are present in the movies and in the film industry.
Todo el mundo dice que la prostitución es el trabajo más antiguo del mundo. Lo más antiguo del mundo es mirar para otro lado.
We received more than 400 movies in our hands. We collect them in Excel, and we start counting. And we saw like, okay, it's a man director, man director, man director, man director, man director. Most of them were like man director, and we start watching the movies, and suddenly it was like, okay, this movie is talking about men, and the next movie is talking about men also, and the women. The first question was, where are the female directors in Latin America? The second question was like, why nobody is talking about women? Even that, not all the movies that we have, a really small part of the movies that we have were directed by a man. They talked about women. Hija de la Laguna, Daughter of the Lake, is about the really strong women that is struggling for their own land, their own land, their own memory, and their own identity. Guardiana de los Rios, directed by Jennifer Avila, for example, is talking about Berta Cáceres, that is a really, really strong, she was a really strong activist struggling for the natural resource. They killed there. They killed her only because she was a woman, she was indigenous, and she was talking a little bit louder than the rest of the population.
Es muy importante educar en los hogares a los menores y educarlos en relaciones sexuales y afectivas sanas.
We receive a lot of movies from schools. We have some movies from the schools, and they are really important because those are new voices that they are trying to talk with another meaningful.
Cinemaissí was more like a protest. I mean, people who want to show the mainstream cinema. It's more like alternative cinema.
It is very important that people are informed, and it is especially important because these kind of groups that, for instance, have worked to film this documentary are research journalists that many times struggle also to find resources to produce this kind of work, and in a country where it's very difficult to also conduct journalism research. So we think that it is very important that the international community observes what's going on in Mexico, because it is also a way to help these people who are in a very vulnerable position, not only journalists but also human rights defenders, that other people in the world see what's going on, and in this way, like, there's this kind of help with people who follow the
So art in all the countries of the world don't have any kind of help. The only situation is like in Europe you have more facilities to fund the material, to do your own projects. There's many chance how you can get a grant or sponsor or stuff like that. In Latin America, if you are not inside of any political parties or you don't have any rich family, you don't can do nothing, just only experiment with cheap materials, but this don't mean you will be better. It's like a Picasso. If Picasso born in a little town in Paraguay, he will be always famous, because if you are talented, nothing limits your creativity. And so it's more important for Latin American artists to get a space in the world of art, not only your country. I don't really don't care what happened in Paraguay because Paraguay is really far. Where I live, they don't give me nothing. And I don't wait also nothing. I don't want to get nothing from there because I know it's a really small circle of art. So it's not important to be part of there. So I don't care what happened in the art. But I take care how they growing and how they do. Because for me it's important like they are existed because if somebody are important there and doing something good, the best is competed with them. So this is what I'm focused on.
The audience is more Finnish people, yes, of course, it's the big audience. And then we have Swedish speakers and also Spanish speakers, but the big audience is the Finnish people. We bring happiness and we bring some kind of light to this darkness. It's not only a Latin American film festival, but Cinemaissí also, because Cinemaissí is an association. And also our vision is to bring culture, events, cinema, and all kind of events related to Latin America. So for that reason, when we make Cinemaissí, the festival, we also make parties, fiestas, events.
In Finland are really interesting. They are really curious. They respect everything. This is something like I'm really glad to live here. So they are always asking. Many of my friends who come here to watch the exhibition was Finnish, not Latin American. They are not related with culture. But so the thing is, the education there is so basic. So we don't think how important are the culture to be a person or be a human. And people here, they respect so much how is to be a human. So if you have culture, you are human. If you don't have culture, you can be a animal.
But now we have to start thinking and to encourage men and women to think about gender equality in all sense. And I think our small seed was this festival, and our small seed was open up this discussion.
Y yo te voy a cantar y dime ahora qué es lo que te pasa a mi muchacha.